All right, let's talk about Manitoba. They've just unveiled this big, bold economic game plan, something they say is going to reshape their entire future. So you got to ask, right? What's the problem they're trying to fix? What's the strategy? And, what's in it for the average person? We're going to break it all down.
And if you want to get a sense of just how urgent this is, you don't need to look any further than this quote. It's from the Bank of Canada, and it's pretty intense. This really sets the stage for a much bigger national conversation about one single thing that's become a huge deal: productivity.
Okay, so productivity. What does that even mean? A lot of people think it's about working more hours, right? Grinding it out. But it's actually the total opposite. It's about how much value you can create in 1 hour. It's all about working smarter, not harder. You could even say it's the ultimate report card for how efficient an economy is.
And that brings us right to the heart of the problem for Manitoba. Because, well, when you look at their productivity numbers lately, the trend lines are going the wrong way. Yeah, this really nails it. The road to a healthy economy isn't paved with burnout and 80-hour work weeks. It's about giving people the right tools for the job, better tech, better equipment, so they can be way more efficient and create more value without just working themselves to the bone.
And here is the number that's really setting off the alarm bells. For a long time, Manitoba's productivity was climbing, going in the right direction. But then, around 2015, something changed. That trend completely reversed, and it's actually been slipping backwards every year since.
Let's just pause on that for a second, because that little percentage doesn't tell the whole story. What this really means is that the average business in Manitoba actually produced more value in an hour of work back in 2014 than it does today. Think about that. This isn't just a slowdown, folks. It's literally going backwards, and that's a big problem.
So, faced with this challenge, the government's response isn't some small tweak or a minor adjustment. No, they're swinging for the fences here. They're setting a really ambitious long-term goal for the whole province.
And the vision is pretty straightforward. They want to turn Manitoba into what's called a have province. One of those provinces that actually puts more money into the national pot than it takes out. Now, that is a steep hill to climb, for sure. But the whole idea behind this new strategy is that with some really focused, sustained growth, they think they can actually pull it off.
Okay, so that's the big goal. But how in the world do they plan to get there? Well, the game plan is built around 5 main pillars. Think of them as 5 different ways to attack this whole productivity puzzle. So here they are, the 5 pillars of the plan. You can kind of see how they're all connected. It starts with investing in better tools. That helps you trade more with the world. You need a skilled workforce to do that. You want that workforce creating new ideas, and you need government to make all of that easier. Let's dive into each one.
Pillar number 1 is all about money and tools. Simple as that. The plan is to pump new cash into the system. We're talking new financing programs, better tax credits, all to help businesses buy the new machinery and tech they need. The whole point is to give them the modern equipment they need to actually compete.
Next up, Pillar 2 looks beyond Manitoba's borders. They're ramping up support for exporters and getting industrial sites shovel-ready. The idea is to make it super easy for global companies to set up shop there, while also helping Manitoba's own businesses sell their stuff to the rest of the world.
Pillar number 3 is all about the people. It's about updating apprenticeship programs and making sure immigration is bringing in people with the skills that are actually in demand. The goal here is to build a workforce that's ready for those higher-paying, future-proof jobs. All right, Pillar 4 gets into something really important today: owning your own ideas. In today's economy, the real power isn't just in making things. It's in the ideas themselves, the patents, the software, the intellectual property. So this part of the plan is all about helping local companies create, protect, and actually make money from their best ideas right there in Manitoba.
And finally, the 5th pillar looks in the mirror. It's about the government itself. And the goal is pretty simple: make things easier. We're talking about cutting red tape, creating a one-stop shop for businesses, and even using AI to speed things up. The idea is to make government a partner that helps you grow, not a roadblock.
Okay, so those are the 5 pillars. But the strategy makes it really clear that none of this works, not really, unless it's built on a solid foundation. And that foundation is all about inclusion.
And this is a really critical point. The plan frames things like indigenous economic reconciliation and making the workforce inclusive for everybody, not as nice-to-haves or side projects. No, it presents them as essential drivers of the whole plan. The thinking is that when you close those economic gaps, everybody in Manitoba benefits,
it lifts the entire boat.
All right, so that's the big picture strategy. 5 pillars, a foundation of inclusion. But let's get real. What does any of this actually mean for you, for your wallet? How does a government document like this actually translate into real life?
Well, to give you an idea of the sheer scale we're talking about, let's look at just one project mentioned in the plan, upgrading the Port of Churchill. The potential economic domino effect from just this one move is, honestly, it's staggering.
And that's the ripple effect in action, right? That massive number, 3.5 billion, isn't just some abstract figure on a page. It means thousands and thousands of jobs. It means opening up this incredible northern gateway so Manitoba's farmers and miners can sell their stuff to brand new markets all over the globe.
And in the end, that's what this is all about. If you strip everything else away, the whole strategy boils down to one simple promise. A stronger, more productive economy means higher-paying jobs. It means a better standard of living. And it means making life just a little bit more affordable for you and your family.
So there you have it. The plan is definitely ambitious. The goals are high, and let's be honest, the challenges are very real. They've laid out a pretty detailed roadmap. But the big question that hangs over all of this is this the plan that will finally unlock a whole new era of prosperity for Manitoba?